We're going to begin now. My name is Mark Wiggin. I'm the chair of the board of directors for Chugach Electric Association. On behalf of the board, myself and my fellow board members and our staff, I want to welcome you to the 2025 annual membership meeting for your member-owned co-op. We're going to begin tonight with the presentation of the colors from the Alaska Military Youth Academy Color Guard, followed by Lisa Herring, who just completed her freshman year at Mountain City Christian Academy, who will sing the national anthem. Please stand.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bulls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please remain standing and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you to the Alaska Military Youth Academy Color Guard and to Lisa Herring for that fabulous presentation of the colors and singing of the national anthem. You can be seated. Thank you. We want to acknowledge that we gather today on the traditional lands of the Dena'ina Athabascans. For thousands of years, the Dena'ina have been and continue to be stewards of this land. It is with gratitude and respect that we recognize the contributions, the innovations, and the contemporary perspectives of the Upper Cook Inlet Dena'ina. Thank you. On behalf of the entire Chugach board and management team, thank you all for being here today at this very important co-op annual meeting. This is our largest gathering of the year for you, our members. Chugach is the largest electric utility in Alaska, serving more than 90,000 member owners. We provide service to over 113,000 metered locations in an area extending all the way from Anchorage to the northern Kenai Peninsula and from Whittier to Tyonek on the west side of Cook Inlet. Chugach also provides power for Alaskans throughout the rail belt through wholesale and economy energy sales. As members of the cooperative, Chugach is your cooperative, and we're happy to see you here this afternoon. Our MC for tonight is Chugach's Senior Manager of Corporate Communications, Julie Haskett. Julie?
Thank you, Director Wiggin. Glad to be back again in the seat here for the annual meeting. This is our big event of the year and always a great time. I would like to once again have a round of applause for Jared Woods. I hope you guys were here to listen to him play for about 45 minutes. He's an outstanding musician. I have a few announcements as we get underway. If there was to be any emergency, we would all exit straight out the doors that we came in. Please be polite and not trample on each other. Just leave quickly and efficiently. And we have both an AED and a first aid kit up here if that is necessary. At the table in the back, I hope you found a lot of the materials that are important for tonight's meeting. We have the agenda, which is for tonight, which will tell you how things are going to go. We also have a copy of the minutes from last year's meeting, which are something that need to be approved tonight. We also have the annual report, which is hot off the press. It's all the highlights of 2024. This is also available online. We don't print a lot of copies because we know folks kind of just like to read it online. But there's some back there if you'd like to take it with you. And so that's available at chugachelectric.com. There's also note cards. We're going to have some time at the end to do questions and answers, and we'll have a live mic up here. But if you don't want to ask a question over the mic, you can put your question in the box in the back, and I'll read it from the podium here, and we'll get you some answers. And then we also want to make sure that you got your blue voting card. Does everyone have your blue voting card? We're going to need those, and stapled is the coupons or the raffle tickets, if you will. Later, at the very end of the meeting, we have some door prizes, and then we're going to give that vehicle away that was been sitting outside, that surplus vehicle. So many people came up to me today and said, what do I have to do to try to win that vehicle? I said, you have to register at the annual meeting and sit till the very end. So that's what we're going to be doing. Also, all of you who registered should have gotten the $25 gift card to either Bell's or the Diamond Greenhouse. We do that every year as part of Chugach's commitment to Arbor Day, which this year was Friday, April 25th, and it's part of our participation in Tree Line USA. Whether you plant a tree or a shrub, was somebody clapping? Oh. Sorry. That'll help you buy some of your greenery for the summer. And also, don't forget, please do not plant underneath power lines. Thank you. And also, make sure, I saw some folks carried their raffle tickets to their seats. You do need to tear it off and put it in the jar in the back. So we will draw at the end, and you'll have the one that's stapled to the blue card. And just to sum up, all registered members are eligible to win the drawing that comes at the end. That vehicle is a 2007 Chevy Silverado. It has just over 42,000 miles on it, which is pretty amazing for a 2007 vehicle. I drove it over here from Chugach, and it runs just fine. Is it yours? Okay, this lady thinks that she's already won, so yeah. We'll see. If it's you, I'm going to be very freaked out. I'd like to now introduce our board of directors. You already met our chair, Mark Wiggin. We have our vice chair, Cece Cooper. Our treasurer, Rachel Morse, could not be here tonight, but sitting next to Cece is our secretary, Suzanne Fleet Green, director Bettina Chastain, director Jim Nordlin, and director Dan Rogers. Would you all just stand up briefly for a round of applause? And then our executive team is also here tonight. Our Chief Executive Officer, Arthur Miller, our Chief Operating Officer, you can hold your applause to the end, Andrew Laughlin, our Chief Financial Officer, Sherry Hires, our Chief Legal Officer, Matt Clarkson, our Chief Strategic Officer, Al Rudek, and our Vice President of Human Resources, Katie Millen. So let's go ahead. Yeah. So any questions you might have tonight, the folks who can answer them are definitely in the room. Together, our board and executive team lead with vision, expertise, and a commitment to excellence, and we always thank them for their service. I would also like to take a minute tonight or this afternoon, to recognize all of the Chugach staff who are here. If you work for Chugach, could you please stand up or wave? There's a lot of folks who keep our business running every single day. So Chugach employees. And also tonight, we have Sarah Gilstrom, who is our parliamentarian. Sarah, could you give a wave? Sarah makes sure that we stay on track and follow all the rules. And now I'm going to ask Mark Wiggin to come back to the podium, and I'll be back in a bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Will Master Election Judge Dawn Bundick please come forward? The bylaws state that 7.5% of all members of the association voting, including at least 50 members present in person, shall constitute a quorum for a regular or special meeting of the members. The 7.5% has already been accomplished through electronic and mail voting. Therefore, we need 50 members in attendance at the annual meeting to vote on issues that may come before us this evening. Dawn, how many members do we have registered?
Thank you, sir. We have 283 members registered.
Thank you very much, Dawn. We do have a quorum at this time. Per the bylaws, not less than 30 or more, not less than 30 or more than 60 days before the meeting on April 21st, 2025, the official notice for the 2025 annual meeting was mailed to all members of record. Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the 2024 annual meeting. By the way, copies of the 2024 annual meeting minutes were on the table by the door when you came in. Is there a motion to waive a reading of the annual meeting minutes? I see a motion. Do we have a second? We have a number of seconds. Thank you very much. It has been moved and seconded, and we will waive a reading of the minutes of the 2024 annual meeting. We will now vote by using the blue cards, or the cards you were provided when you registered. All in favor of the motion as presented, please raise your voting cards. Thank you very much. All opposed, raise your cards. Seeing none, the motion, we have one in opposition. Seeing that we have one in opposition, the motion passes. Thank you very much. It has been moved to second. Thank you, I got ahead of myself. There's no unfinished business before us today. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay. Julie corrected me. The motion was to waive the reading. That was approved. Thank you. Now we have to approve the minutes. I bypassed a step. Thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the 2024 annual meeting? There is a motion. Thank you. Do we have a second? Thank you, Greg. We have a second. It has been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of the 2024 annual meeting. All in favor of approving the minute, raise your blue cards high, please. Thank you very much. Any opposed? Seeing none, that motion passes. There is no unfinished business before us today, and I think I've kept on schedule. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Wiggin. Many of you know that Chugach has 3 volunteer member committees: the nominating, the bylaws, and the election. Those 3 committees are involved in planning the annual meeting, in executing the election, helping to get candidates running for the board, and so each year we provide a summary of that committee work. Louise Lejeune is going to come forward this afternoon and give us a report from the nominating committee. And Louise is on her way.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Louise Lejeune. It's been my pleasure to serve as Vice Chair of the Association's 2025 Nominating Committee. I'd like to explain the process for selecting the candidates for directors that appear on this year's ballot. Chugach ran notices from November 24 through January of this year in the Anchorage Daily News, in the Chugach Outlet newsletter, on Chugach's website, and various social media channels advertising the 1 seat on the board of directors. Interested members were required to submit applications to the nominating committee by January 27. The nominating committee interviewed 4 members who submitted applications. They were Sam Kaysen, David Kamankara, Catherine Jernstrom, and Bernie Smith. The committee voted to recommend 3 applicants for the ballot, and the nominations were posted in accordance to the bylaws. The nominating committee did not pass through David Kamankara, and later Sam Kaysen withdrew his application for the board seat. Bylaws also provide for a petition process to add names to the ballot. 1 petition was submitted this year by Arik San Michel. Therefore, in total, there are 3 names on the ballot for the 1 position open this year's board election. In closing, I would like to thank my fellow 2025 nominating committee members for serving with me on the committee. They are Patty Bogan, Heidi Hansen, Ashley Johnson, Jessica Koloski, Bryce Mann, and Alex Traxler. I'd also like to thank Director Dan Rogers, who served as board liaison for the nominating committee, and Whitney Wilkson, Chugach Associate General Counsel, for serving as the Chugach liaison. Thank you.
Thank you, Louise. And now I'd like to have Jim Strandberg come forward. Jim is on the Bylaws Committee, and he is going to give a report from that committee. I saw Jim earlier. There he is.
Good afternoon. My name is Jim Strandberg. It's been my pleasure to serve as the chair of the Association's 2025 Bylaws Committee. Chugach members were given the opportunity to submit proposed changes to the bylaws by sending them to the committee's attention. Notification was given in the Anchorage Daily News, the Chugach Outlet newsletter, and on chugachelectric.com from November 2024 through January of this year. Members were asked to submit bylaw amendments to the bylaw committee by January 27th. There were 4 proposed bylaw changes reviewed by the committee this year. The committee considered them and voted to recommend 1 proposal to the board to consider adding to the ballot. The board of directors considered the proposed bylaw and moved the amendment forward for your vote. The proposal appears as extend the time frame for the annual meeting. In closing, I would like to thank my fellow 2025 Bylaws Committee members for serving with me on the committee. They are Dee Berlin Nauman, Frank Wortney, Jessica Koloski, Michael Powell, Bernie Smith, and Jim Henderson. And I'd like to thank Director Jim Nordland, who served as board liaison to the Bylaws Committee, and Whitney Wixon, Whitney, Chugach Associate General Counsel, for serving as the Chugach liaison. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Next, I'd like to introduce the three candidates that ran for the board or are running for the board. I assume they're all in the room. When I say your name, if you would stand and wave. We've had the candidate bios on our website at Chugach and short videos for about 2 months, so I hope you had the chance to see that and read that, and it's also part of the voting process. You can read all about it when you vote. Candidates, please stand when I say your name in alphabetical order. Catherine Jernstrom. Where's Catherine? She's in the back waving. Okay, hi, Catherine. Bernie Smith. Where's Bernie? Right here. Hi, Bernie. Thanks for being here. And Eric St. Michel. Is Eric here? I'm looking. I don't see him. Well, anyway, those are our three candidates running for the board. Okay, so at this time, we are going to take a 10-minute recess. This is your last opportunity to vote. If you have not voted, this is your opportunity to vote. And remember, when you vote, it enters you to win 1 free year of electricity from Chugach Electric, up to 10,000 kilowatt hours at the residential rate. And it also helps you steer the future of this member-owned cooperative. So it's now 4:25. We'll be back at 4:35 and have our report from the board and a report from the CEO. So please take 10 minutes to take a short break and vote if you have not. Thank you.
I get to bang the gavel. The meeting is reconvened. Welcome back, everyone. Registration and voting are now closed. As has been mentioned, Chugach is governed by a 7-member board of directors elected by and from the membership. Speaking very personally, I know I speak for all of my fellow directors, it is really a pleasure to serve on the board and to represent you and all the members of this utility. The past year has been an extraordinarily busy one as we've dealt with many important issues, including, as you've no doubt heard about, gas supply, our rate case, the Eklutna project, and the installing of the battery energy storage system over here by Chugach, and not at all least, and planning and building of a 500 kilowatt community solar project, which came from a member request, which was fully subscribed by our members in less than 45 days. So it's 100% subscription to it, and in fact, we have a waiting list and others who we would hope would like to be on a future community project. As a way of summarizing our progress on those issues and initiatives, each year we put together a video, a video highlighting the board members' thoughts on the work that has been done and is yet still to come. Tonight, we'd like to share that video with you.
I really enjoy getting to talk to our members through my daily life, but also connecting with them in the member-led committees that they serve on and hearing their perspective.
Getting to work on these really big issues that are so important to our service territory and to our members.
Chugach has a wonderful staff, great people, hardworking. It's been an honor to serve on this board.
I believe that the biggest board accomplishment of 2024 is the gas underlift. This is one that is a little technical, has not gotten as much attention, but really will make a huge difference in helping Chugach get through the coming end of our gas contract.
I think the board, through its work for the last couple of years, has come up with a solution. The Harvest Marathon Chugach that will not only provide gas supplies in the near and midterm, but also give us the flexibility we need to do what we also want to do, and that is decarbonize and burn less gas.
We can come up with both a midterm and a long-term generation plan. I think we've got a decent solution for the short-term gas problem, and now we need to figure out what the bridge solution is to get to a good long-term generation plan.
It's all about working together to fix some of these problems.
We are still saving off of the ML&P acquisition. We're upwards of $100 million in savings for members.
Completing the Aklutna studies and developing the draft mitigation plan that went to the governor.
Making significant strides in securing long-term sustainability, financial stability, and member value.
I love the idea that every issue we are tackling comes back to supporting this community and making sure that we really are a healthy and vibrant place to live.
It's really been pretty incredible to see the cohesiveness of the board.
I take my service on the board as a steward of the members' interests, as well as the well-being of the cooperative as a whole.
We get to solve some very big problems for our area. There's no bigger problem than keeping the lights on.
I raised a family in Anchorage, and I have children and grandchildren that live in Anchorage and that will live in Anchorage long into the future. And my favorite part of having served on the board for the last 10 years is knowing that I've made some decisions that will impact their lives for the future.
Thank you for your attention. As you can see, there's a lot happening at Chugach and in the industry as a whole. This board is committed to seeing a number of projects and initiatives through on behalf of you, our members. I'd now like to invite Bettina Chastain, my fellow director, and Arthur Miller to come to this stage. As many of you may know, Bettina Chastain is concluding many years of service on the Chugach Board of Directors, a decade of service to our board. Her leadership has been frankly extraordinary and dedicated, having served since 2015. During her tenure, including many years as the board chair, Bettina has played a key role in guiding the cooperative through major initiatives, including the acquisition of ML&P and the development of carbon reduction goals that will support our reach for a more sustainable future. Her expertise and steady leadership has been defined by a strong commitment to reliable service, rate stability, and long-term value to our members. Bettina, and I say this personally and for all my fellow, truly exemplifies what it means to be a fine director of this utility. We are deeply grateful for her service and her dedication. And please join me in giving Bettina, my friend, a well-deserved and very enthusiastic round of applause.
I want to say a couple of words as well. Director Chastain has been instrumental to Chugach's success over the last 10 years. We are where we are today because of her dedication and her strong conviction to this organization. She has always put members first. She has done an exemplary job in representing Chugach and all of our membership. She will be deeply missed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I wasn't really expecting this, and I really didn't prepare anything for this.
but I do want to say it's been a real honor and a privilege to serve you for the last 10 years. And I really appreciate your trust in me and voting for me for 3 terms. And I have thoroughly enjoyed every year, every decision that we've made, and I've always kept you, the members, top of my mind in every decision that I've made. So thank you very much for your trust in me. Thank you.
All right. And thank you, Bettina, for your service. It's been a pleasure to work with you. Now I would like to invite Vice Chair Cece Cooper to please come to the stage to deliver the Treasurer's Report. Our Board Treasurer, Rachel Morris, was unable to be here tonight, so Cece is going to present the Treasurer's Report on her behalf.
Thank you, Julie. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here on a Friday afternoon. I'm honored to serve as the Board Vice Chair, as well as the Vice Chair of the Audit and Finance Committee. I'm pleased to introduce the Treasurer Report to you tonight. The 2024 financials are also included in the 2024 annual report, which Julie mentioned earlier. We encourage you to read through that report. We have a few copies here, but it's also on Chugach's website. Tonight, in order to summarize the financials from 2024, we're sharing a brief presentation for you tonight. There's a short video coming up. Thank you.
Tonight I'm going to review highlights of Chugach's financial information for 2024, including net utility plant and long-term debt, our sales, revenue, and cost of electric service, our margins and key financial ratios, as well as other financial matters. Chugach's net utility plant asset base at the end of 2024 comprised of 39% generation and energy storage, 15% transmission, 29% distribution, 8% BRU, which is the Beluga River Unit gas field, and 9% general plant and other, which is largely structures, transportation, and office and communication equipment. We finance the majority of our plant with long-term debt. As you can see, a large portion of our long-term debt was issued in 2020 with the acquisition of Municipal Light and Power. The rates on our long-term debt are fixed, and at the end of 2024, carried an average interest rate of approximately 3.39%. Additionally, we made approximately $50 million in principal payments in 2024. Our sales are divided into 4 primary categories. Retail sales include residential, commercial, and street lighting. Wholesale sales are made to the City of Seward. Economy sales represent the sales of available generation in excess of our own needs to Golden Valley Electric Association. Power pool sales refer to the sales made to Matanuska Electric Association, or MEA, under our power pool arrangement, whereby we economically dispatch our combined generation to serve both loads. Our sales in 2024 totaled 2.3 million megawatt hours, with the majority of the sales providing service to our retail members. This was consistent with sales in 2023. As a result of our sales, our retail members provided approximately 93% of the $363.3 million of revenue in 2024. Our total cost of electric service of $357.1 million comprised of fuel and operations and maintenance, which made up 59%, while the depreciation of our assets and the interest on the debt to fund those assets made up 33%. We also purchased power in 2024, which accounted for 8% of our total cost, primarily from the Bradley Lake Hydroelectric Project, Fire Island, the Municipality of Anchorage's ownership in the Eklutna Hydroelectric Project, and MEA through power pooling. Our revenue, less expenses, generated a margin of $6.2 million in 2024, which compared with margins of $8.1 million in 2023. As a not-for-profit member-owned cooperative, These margins will ultimately be returned to our members. Our financial ratios, margins for interest over interest and times interest earned ratio, which are measures of our ability to service our short and long-term interest, came in at 1.13 and 1.15, while our equity ratio decreased to 15.7% from 16.7% due to the issuance of additional long-term debt to fund capital improvements. We are able to obtain and secure debt at low rates, due in part to our favorable credit ratings. We currently have an A rating from S&P Global Ratings and an A- from Fitch Ratings. In 2024, our retail members received $3.7 million in capital credit retirement payments. And lastly, we received an unqualified opinion, also known as a clean audit, from our independent auditors for 2024. Thank you.
Now, I would like to introduce Beth Stewart from KPMG. KPMG are the external auditors hired by the board. Beth, please stand and be recognized. Beth is the engagement partner for the Chugach Electric audit. If anybody has questions about the financial report, please hold your questions until the Q&A portion at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Cece. And now I would like to have Arthur Miller, our Chief Executive Officer, come forward to present the CEO report.
Welcome, everyone, and good afternoon, and thank you for joining the Chugach Electric Association's 2025 annual membership meeting. My name is Arthur Miller. I'm the CEO of Chugach, and I'm pleased to be here to provide an update on our key priorities and initiatives over the past year. First, however, I would like to recognize and thank the Chugach Board of Directors for their unwavering dedication and service to our membership. Their strategic leadership is instrumental in guiding the organization through an increasingly complex energy landscape, ensuring long-term sustainability and reliability with competitive rates. Their commitment and their strategic vision are instrumental to our success. Please join me in welcoming and thanking them for their contribution to Chugach. The electric utility industry is undergoing significant but positive change, driven by three factors: decarbonization, decentralization of the power grid, and technological change. These changes are creating significant opportunities for utilities across the sector. And I want to underscore an important point. Chugach Electric is not standing still. From securing gas supply and expanding renewable energy to mitigating wildfire risks, enhancing system security, improving efficiency and reliability, and promoting beneficial electrification, each of these initiatives demonstrates our commitment to a resilient, future-focused energy strategy that positions Chugach for long-term success. It's well known that gas supply is a challenge for all South Central utilities. This is an initiative that Chugach has been working on for the past several years, ever since Hillcorp announced they would not be renewing their current gas contracts with utilities in South Central Alaska. Today, 40% of our gas requirements are met under our Hillcorp contract, which ends on March 31, 2028. Importantly, we're uniquely positioned as an electric utility that has contributed to our preparedness. Chugach owns 2/3 of the Beluga River Unit gas field, which supplies 60% of our gas needs. This gas field was the best performing field in the Cook Inlet Basin last year, demonstrating strong productivity and efficiency. Since 2016, our members have saved over $113 million in fuel costs resulting from our direct ownership in the field, and this savings continues every day. Extending on this success, we entered into agreements with key business partners to mitigate future gas supply risk. We entered into an underlift agreement with Hillcorp, which allows for Beluga River unit gas that we cannot use today to instead be used by Hillcorp, with the majority of that gas returned to Chugach over a 4-year period, beginning immediately following the expiration of our contract with Hillcorp in second quarter of 2028. We also entered into a gas exchange agreement with Marathon Petroleum Company, where we provide Marathon gas today that in turn is returned to us over a 3-year period, again, beginning after the expiration of our contract with Hillcorp. Importantly, gas storage is also a critical component of our gas supply strategy. And following the success at Beluga, we are now actively evaluating direct ownership of gas storage at the Beluga River unit with the goal of increased efficiency, lower cost, and greater reliability. We are also capitalizing on opportunities to increase efficiencies through our power pooling agreement with Matanuska Electric Association, which resulted in over $3 million in savings last year. In addition, we also, through efficiency gains, our battery energy storage system was placed in commercial operation last October. Moving forward, we need to replace the gas volumes that will go away under our contract with Hillcorp. As part of our near-term strategy, we are planning to import liquefied natural gas, or LNG, as a transitional fuel while we continue to pursue longer-term solutions. Importantly, the decision is not whether we are choosing in-state gas versus out-of-state gas. There is no in-state gas option at this time that meets our timeline of second quarter of 2028. We are actively working with Harvest Midstream and Marathon to leverage the existing Kenai LNG facility for this purpose. A front-end engineering design study or FEED study is expected to be completed this summer, and we anticipate gas deliveries in 2027. Looking ahead, we support the development of a natural gas pipeline from the North Slope, increased gas production in South Central Alaska, and a transition to increased reliance on renewable energy. Natural gas, however, will remain a necessary part of our energy portfolio over the foreseeable future. Lastly, I want to address the potential cost impact of importing LNG. Based on our current analysis, we estimate that importing LNG will result in an approximate 10% increase in electric bills for Chugach members. The rate impact will be different between utilities, as each utility's underlying cost structure is different. And I also want to emphasize, when we reference that we expect a 10% increase, that's conservatively on the high side. With all the activities that we are taking, the arrangements that we are working on with with the underlift agreement with Hillcorp, exchange agreement with Marathon, and other initiatives, we expect that transition will be less than that amount. At Chugach, safety and security remain a top priority. We've implemented numerous enhancements to strengthen our physical and cybersecurity across all of our facilities. We've introduced updated protocols for both employees and visitors alike who enter our buildings. We've also upgraded infrastructure and systems to better detect and deter trespassing and theft, especially following a series of substation break-ins you may have seen reported in the local news. Physical and cybersecurity are an ongoing priority for Chugach. We remain committed to investing in emerging technologies and best practices as we move forward. If you traveled the Seward Highway between Anchorage and Girdwood last summer, you likely noticed the significant construction activity on our transmission lines. This work is part of the Girdwood to Indian rebuild for the replacement of 12 miles of transmission line between those substations. The existing infrastructure, built more than 60 years ago, has reached the end of its useful life. This segment is one piece of a much larger initiative that began in 2004 to rebuild the entire line between Anchorage and Cooper Landing, work that will extend into the early 2030s. Wildfire mitigation is another key focus area of Chugach, particularly following a winter with very little snow. Chugach is actively partnering in a community wildlife protection plan and collaborating with multiple agencies. Internally, we have a number of mitigation tools, with vegetation management being one of the most critical for both safety and reliability. Keeping our easements clear allows for safe maintenance, efficient outage response, and can serve as fire breaks or even evacuation routes, as fire officials have emphasized. We continue to ask for your support, however, when you see our crews or our contractor, Carlos Tree Service, clearing vegetation, please allow them to work safely and efficiently. We also ask that you do not plant trees or place structures in utility easements. In high fire risk situations, we have put in place operational protocols that include proactive power shutoffs. We're proactively advancing initiatives to help keep the communities that we serve safe. A highlight this year was the commissioning of our battery energy storage system, or BESS. This 40-megawatt battery was placed in service last October, with Chugach owning 75% and Matanuska Electric owning 25%. The battery has increased system reliability by instantaneously responding to operational disturbances and creating operational efficiencies, resulting in fuel savings of up to 5%, or over $5 million on an annual basis. The battery has proven itself to be an invaluable asset in our energy portfolio. Another highlight was in October was the launch of our new fast-charging electric vehicle station at our headquarters complex. This charger represents an important step in our strategy to expand beneficial electrification. One fast charger can add as much electric load as 12 households, making it a strong contributor to system efficiency and load growth. The station complements our existing EV incentive programs and supports the advancement of electric vehicles within our service area. While natural gas plays a major role in our energy mix, our focus is on a transition to more renewables. Our generation portfolio today consists of just under 80% natural gas and just over 20% renewable generation. Our decarbonization goals are ambitious, yet achievable. Reduce carbon intensity by at least 35% by 2030 and by at least 50% by 2040, all while maintaining affordability and reliability for our members. Alaska's first community solar project marks another step toward diversifying our energy portfolio. The 500 kW project was fully subscribed within just 45 days of opening, with a growing wait list of members eager to participate. We are evaluating a second project due to this strong interest. This initiative provides an ideal option for those who cannot or choose not to install rooftop solar. In addition to community solar, we're also installing solar systems on our own facilities. Both the South Central Power Project and the Sullivan Power Plant now host 85 kW solar arrays, one mounted on the plant and the other ground-based. Our new operations building on the South Campus will feature Alaska's largest rooftop solar array at approximately 165 kilowatts, which is expected to be in commercial operation later this year. These systems allow us to gain valuable hands-on experience with solar energy while reducing reliance on natural gas. We are also actively exploring utility-scale renewable projects to further diversify our generation portfolio. Utility-scale solar, wind, and hydroelectric projects are actively being evaluated. All options are on the table. These projects are part of our long-term strategy to reduce emissions and build a more sustainable energy future for our membership. In 2023, members voted in favor of a bylaw amendment that created our new bill roundup program called Sense of Community. Through this initiative, members will have the option to round up their monthly bill to the nearest dollar. The funds will be distributed to nonprofit organizations across our service territory, selected by a newly established foundation made up of Chugach members. With an average contribution of about $6 per year and an estimated 60% participation rate, We anticipate raising approximately $400,000 per year to support local causes. We've heard long requests for ways to give back to the community, and this program offers a meaningful path to do just that. Members are automatically enrolled in the program, but can opt out at any time. More information on this initiative will be available in our August outlet newsletter. In connection with the Sense of Community program, we are currently accepting applications for the Foundation's Board of Trustees. We are seeking 7 Chugach members, age 18 or older and in good standing with the cooperative, who have a passion for community service. Full qualifications and details on the application process are available on our website. This is a great opportunity to help guide a program that will directly benefit organizations doing important work across the communities that we serve. We're also making strides to improve our internal operations and workplace culture. As part of that effort, we're constructing a new operations and engineering building on our South Campus, which allows us to consolidate teams currently based on the North Campus that are really formerly part of the MLMP campus. 5 years post-acquisition, we continue to integrate and realize efficiencies. The new building not only facilitates co-location and collaboration, but also provides for improved equipment storage, streamlined crew logistics, and enhanced safety and security. As mentioned earlier, the building will feature the largest rooftop solar array in the state, aligning our infrastructure with our sustainability goals. As we close today, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to the dedicated employees of Chugach. Our team works every day to deliver safe, reliable power and affordable electricity, and our employees do so with professionalism, skill, and a deep sense of responsibility. Beyond their day jobs, our employees volunteer countless hours in the community, attending town halls, career fairs, school visits, and local events. I am incredibly proud of our workforce and their commitment to excellence and our community. Chugach is a key member of the community, and we are managing today's challenges while investing in solutions that will sustain reliable, affordable service for our members well into the future. Thank you all for attending this year's annual meeting.
All right, thank you, Arthur. Now, if you would like to ask any questions from either one of these microphones, please feel free to come forward. I do have a few written questions that were put in the box in the back. Sir, are you coming forward? There's a person coming right behind you. Yeah. I love looking out and seeing so many people on a Friday at the end of May. This is awesome.
Thank you. My name's Del Conrad. My wife and I have been members of either MLP or CEA for over 20 years.
Stand a little closer.
A little closer.
Yep.
Let's tilt it up. You were talking about LNG imports, I assume from Canada, which is the closest major LNG resource here. I am currently employed by Kinnicotnu, which is a native corporation in Wasilla, and Kinnicotnu and Siri, 60 miles north of here in Houston, have 7 years worth of supply for the entire region and possibly 3 times that much. And it seems to me it'd make a lot more sense, probably less infrastructure investment, and it would keep all the money and jobs in Alaska as opposed to sending it to Canada. And I guess my question is, have you knocked on Siri's door and asked, because they're right on the rail line, they're on the road system, they've got transmission lines going through there, they've got pipelines near there, and so it seems ridiculous to bring LNG in when we have this resource right just up the road. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Really a very good question. And the answer is yes. We have pursued all avenues to secure additional gas supply. And as an electric utility, we cannot operate on, we hope we're going to have gas in second quarter of 2028. We need 100% assurance that we will have gas to make up for the shortfall in the Hillcorp contract that's going to expire. Most importantly, and it's unfortunate, but no in-state company has came to Chugach offering assurance that they will give us gas in 2028 on a firm contract basis. We absolutely, given a preference, we absolutely prefer in-state gas. We support our communities that we serve, but at the same token, we can't lose sight of the fact of the criticality, if you will, of ensuring we have reliable electric power in 2028. And unfortunately, no company has come to Chugach to offer firm supply at that time period. And I can assure you we have reached out and have been in discussions with multiple companies throughout South Central Alaska.
The question was, have you gone to Siri?
We have gone to, yes, I believe we have gone to Siri.
I don't see anyone else coming forward, so I'm going to read a couple from the cards. How come there are not more wind turbines on Fire Island?
This has been a discussion for a while, and that certainly is something that we're always interested in. And we're looking at different economics on projects across South Central Alaska, including wind, solar, and hydropower, and that's what we're under evaluation, actually, literally right now, looking at utility scale projects. And if the economics pan out, we're going to put the projects that are front and center, driven by economics and proximity, if you will, to our facilities. That will be the driving factor when we do that, but I will say all options are on the table.
So did you have a question? You have to come to the microphone. Another question, I'll just quickly answer it. Somebody asked about why doesn't Chugach take the lead on solar panels? I think you saw in the video that we have the very first community solar project in Alaska. So I think that question was answered in Arthur's video. Sir, do you want to go ahead?
Yes, I want to find out if there could be a discount for veterans and seniors.
A discount for veterans, seniors on electricity?
Uh-huh. Yeah, for seniors and veterans. A discount for people who served the military for this country and seniors who've been paying for years.
I certainly understand and respect your comment, and I have all the respect for the seniors in our communities. What we do is we provide electric service in the most cost-effective and equitable manner that we can, and we provide service on the basis of customer class, and it's not based on ability to pay or age or anything else. Really, it's based on making sure we provide power in the most equitable, fair the way possible that we can for each customer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
How does the cost of electricity from Chugach compare to other, this says non-rail belt utilities. So I'm going to ask you to say in the rail belt, but also compared to the bush.
Chugach's electric rates are very competitive with other rail belt utilities. We do have a difference between North and South District, and that's attributed to what we call the Beluga River Unit contributed capital surcharge and rebate, and that goes through 2030. And at that point, that will expire. I would say the North Campus customers, I believe on all customer classes of service, are the lowest in the rail belt. The South District customers, I believe, were second, if not first, but that at worst we're second. If we're comparing our rate levels with rural communities in Alaska, they are for sure among the lowest. The only area that may have lower power would be in Southeast Alaska, where they're predominantly driven by hydropower. Incidentally, I do think it's important to mention, hydropower is the cheapest power in the rail belt, from the Beluga Power Plant, the Eklutna Hydroelectric Project, and the Cooper Lake Hydroelectric Project on the Kenai Peninsula.
Sir, do you have a question? Okay.
I don't know quite how to phrase this, but Hillcorp's been very active and consolidated a lot of the Cook Inlet field. And they basically shut off you and me as a user. I imagine the leases that they control were stipulated in those leases that the leases were to be used for the people in the state of Alaska. Is there some way that through legal action, we could claim something similar to eminent domain and get control of that field back for our use? If they're not going to distribute the gas, or just hold it for another decade or two and sell it at a higher price?
Well, I can't speak about Hillcorp in other areas other than the Beluga River Unit gas field, where we are partners, and Chugach owns 2/3 of that gas field. Hillcorp owns 1/3. Hillcorp and Chugach have been outstanding business partners and working really aggressively drilling additional wells. We expect to drill just 5 wells this year. We drilled 5 wells last year, and approximately 15 wells prior to that over the last several years. So I'm not sure I fully understand your question. I can't speak on other areas of Hillcorp outside of the Beluga River Unit, but I can tell you that Hillcorp has been an outstanding business partner and remains so today. In fact, not only do we partner up on the production in the Beluga River gas field, we also are sharing facilities at Beluga. We have a generation power plant over at Beluga, and we share the camp facilities with Hillcorp personnel who are working in the gas fields with our operations people at the Beluga power plant. That has worked remarkably well. Hillcorp has been an outstanding business partner. In fact, we had a medical emergency situation a couple years ago. We couldn't get an airplane out to Beluga, and one of our workers needed medical attention immediately. Hillcorp had an airplane at Beluga and flew our employee back to Anchorage to get medical assistance.
Could you answer the part of my question? Is there a way to capture or release the reserves that Hillcorp has through some type of legal action? And has that already been tried?
No, no. In fact, so Chugach Electric owns 67% of the shallow reserves, 100% of the deep reserves at Beluga. Are you talking about Beluga, or are you talking about other areas outside
I'm talking about the whole Cook Inlet Basin and those leases that Hillcorp own or control?
No, that's not a business area that we would even consider entering into.
Okay, you're not thinking about, you won't do that. Would that be a legal avenue to release a lot of those reserves that Hillcorp has now, but doesn't make available under their lease to us?
I know that there's been discussion out there regarding Hillcorp's obligations to develop fields, if I understand your question. We are not part of that discussion at all.
I think there should be that discussion.
I think what Arthur's saying is that's not some action that Chugach would take. Others might take that action, but that's not our business.
That's correct.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask if you could maybe follow up at the end, because there's 2 people behind you.
Okay, all right.
And I know the executives will be standing behind.
Well, I think Chugach ought to force that issue, or maybe we should contact the state of Alaska to follow up on that idea of mine.
What I can tell you definitively is Hillcorp and Chugach are drilling aggressively in the Beluga River Unit gas fields.
So we're going to take 2 more questions in the room. This young man right here was already in line, and then yours, and then we're going to move on to election results and the prizes. So go ahead with your question.
Cool. Thank you for this meeting. Every time I come to these meetings, it's amazing to meet like the people behind the scenes, like the engineers, and to get to go on the cherry picker. It's really great. So thank you so much. Is it like a correct take that like we kind of took our time and dawdled on developing utility scale renewables projects, and now it's a like tougher situation? Maybe we missed the boat on investment opportunities because nobody wants to commit to new projects, just given like the uncertainty around the persistence of like IRA tax credits?
If I understand your question, you talk about the additional risk associated with renewable projects and given the ITC situation with changes in the administration?
Yeah, like we've heard so many really exciting ideas about big renewable project opportunities, and none of them have kind of been committed to. And now is it maybe harder to get the funding and like in final investment decisions?
There is no question that the economic landscape is changing with the new administration, and does that make it more challenging? Yes. I will say that all the projects that Chugach embarks on, we do not take it for granted that we will get an ITC credit. We always evaluate our projects assuming we won't get the ITC credit. And we will not change in how we value the projects, whether the ITC is still here or not. We hope we're successful in continuing to have credits that help advance renewables, but we're not relying on that to go in the direction that we want to go in.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Sir,
you.
go ahead.
Hello. I see several buildings around town that have solar panels on the sides of their buildings and on the tops. And I'm wondering, does Chugach have net metering with these people so that any excess electricity as produced at those sites can be put back into the system as part of our renewable strategy?
Very good question. Yes, we do have net metering tariffs. And if you have solar panels at your house and you generate more than what you use, you can bank those kilowatt hours during the billing cycle and then offset future use within your billing cycle at the full retail rate.
And one last thing. Several years ago, when Carol Camo was the superintendent of schools, she asked for suggestions on how to decrease expenditures at the schools. And I sent a nice little letter asking her to contact Edison International to have them do an evaluation of the flat roofs of our schools, to put solar panels on the roofs, which they then sell the power back to the schools and to the utilities at a fixed rate for 30 years. I got a nice letter back from one of her minions saying, unfortunately, schools are in session at the wrong time of the year to produce electricity. Obviously, nobody told her about net metering and that the meters would run backwards during the summer months when all the sun was out. And is there any plan to do anything about that? We have buildings that aren't in use most of the summer that can be producing electricity in Anchorage and putting that back into the system and giving us more renewable resources.
Absolutely, no question about it. And we've been looking at, working with schools. We do not, unfortunately, we're not in the roofing business, but we are in the power generation business. And we need to continue working collaboratively. And one of the big pushes that we have done over the last several years is increased collaboration with the municipality of Anchorage. How can we work together and improve the community and make our community a better place? And that's really an area that we are taking a strong interest in.
On a visit way back in 2010 to Ridgewood, New Jersey, I saw a Whole Foods supermarket that had about 65% of their electricity for the refrigeration and heating systems produced on site by Edison International panels. And that's in New Jersey, which is pretty northern latitude. So it does work.
Yep, it does. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, final question right here because we're coming close to our closing time.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, what if you guys get cut off from, say, Hillcorp or any other mass oil and gas industries? What would happen to the economy then?
If we cut off Hillcorp, I'm sorry.
If you guys got cut off by Hillcorp and or any other gas and oil industries?
I can't.
I think that he must have missed the part about the LNG import. He said, what is the impact on the economy if we're cut off by Hillcorp or other oil and gas companies?
No, it is a good question. And that, as I said earlier, we certainly support additional gas development in the Cook Inlet Basin. We support the pipeline. We support advancing renewables. All of those things are Alaska-based. The impact on the economy, having to pay an additional 10% on your electric bill or a little bit less than that is equivalent to a tax, if you will. It takes money out of the economy and redistributes that to locations in part where the gas is acquired from. The gas, however, is also, there'll be jobs at the LNG import facility in Nikiski. I'm not sure that they had the exact count, but those jobs are not there today. And there will be jobs that will be added to accommodate the importation of natural gas. But I agree with you, there will be a negative impact on our economy.
Yeah, so there's another question that I wanted to ask, but I kind of forgot, so I'm just going to skip to the next question. So, what if, like, say, 10 years go by and solar panels gain popularity and different other electricity modification things I don't really understand, but any other electricity makers get pushed to the side and solar panels go viral, what would happen?
The solar panel technology is getting better and better every day. I think we're going to continue to see advances in household and business solar installations. Right now, we have just under 1,000 customers that have solar panel installations. But your question, if I understand it, is a good one, and that is, we want to make sure that any arrangement that we do on importing liquefied natural gas, that we're not locked in for 30 years. We want to make the lowest level of commitment that we can make that supports our transition to a longer-term solution on our generation mix.
Thank you. We're going to have to wrap this up and move on because we are running out of time. We haven't even gone to the election results. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Arthur. I'm going to ask Stephanie Hudell to come up here and help me draw for the door prizes. We're going to do door prizes, election results, and then the vehicle. So we have 6 door prizes. Who's got the envelopes in the back? Is that Brett? Okay. So the first one is for a $100 gift certificate to the bike shop, and I need a pink ticket. So get out your pink tickets. The number is 458444. 458444. Anybody here? I don't see a hand. How's that possible? No? Okay. What? 458444. Is that you? Okay, we're moving on. Okay, still on the bike shop, $100. 458390. 458390. I can't hear you, Linda. She's got the 444. Oh, the first one? 458444 was the one I drew initially. You have the winner? Okay. Congratulations. I'm going to use this. Was this other person here? The other person is right next to her? You don't have to move? Okay, that person gets a $50 gift certificate to the Olive Garden. And that's 458390. All right. This is a $100 gift certificate to Lowe's for all your gardening and lawn needs and hardware. 458176. Over there, 458176. Can you stand up so Linda can see you? Because Linda gets mad if I make her run too fast. Okay, keep your hand raised. Here she comes. Now we have $100 to Cars Safeway. 458462. 462. Dig around in there. 458462. Where's that? Way over. Oh, Linda, I'm so sorry. It's way over there. It always works out this way. She gets her steps in. The lady in the pink. Okay, 2 more. $50 to Subway. $50 to Subway, 458191. Right here, not too far. You should carry the envelopes in your hand. Brett, oh, okay, 458191. And the last one is $100 to South, Spenard Roadhouse, that whole eclectic group of like 5 restaurants. You can use it at any of those. And the winner is 458359. Over here. We're going out to dinner. All right, over here. She's got a hand up. Can you see? All right, those are the last of the door prizes. Next, we're going to have Don Bundick come up to announce the election results. We will announce, but first, who's got my names for the free electricity? Did you guys draw my 2 names for the electricity? Oh, I have it. Okay. So you don't have to be here to win this. If you voted, you're in this drawing, but if you are, that would be very exciting. So 2 members won 1 free year of electricity up to 10,000 kilowatt hours. Kevin Nobling, are you here, Kevin? No, Kevin. And Court McCotter. Is Court here? No? You know him? All right. Okay, so that all happened. Everyone, again, who voted was entered into that, and survey and ballot drew those names just after the break when all the votes were in. So now if Don would come forward for the election results, and then after that, we will do the vehicle. And the winner of the vehicle, come see me, because I have the title. Okay.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Dawn Bundick, and it has been my privilege to serve as Master Election Judge for this year's election. The election committee is made up of member volunteers appointed by the board and are responsible for ensuring a fair and impartial election process. Chugach hired survey and ballot systems to serve as election administrator and to conduct the mechanics of the election. The board of directors set April 17, 2025 as the record date for this year's election. On April 30th, election materials were sent electronically and mailed to members. Members had the choice to vote by mail, online, or in person today. Mail-in paper ballot voting ended yesterday, May 29th, and online voting ended at 1 p.m. today. In-person voting as part of the annual meeting opened at 3 p.m. today. Earlier today, received ballots were tallied, and this afternoon, in-person ballots were counted and added to the total vote count. Election materials were posted online, and members were notified of election milestones through mailings and through email communications. In addition to mailings and email, members kept informed of the election process through regular updates in the outlet, on the Chugach website, and on social media. Please join me in recognition of the services provided by my fellow election committee members working on your behalf for the past few months to ensure a fair and impartial election process. They are Tunde, if he's here, Akadimpi, Patty Bogan, Lawrence Camp, Thomas Evans, Louise Lejeune, James, and I can't remember how to pronounce his name, Libetz, Jim McGowan, Kevin Perrin, and Bill Simpson. Please give him a hand. You guys stand up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd also like to thank Director Rachel Morris, who served as the board's liaison to the election committee, as well as Brett McPherson, Member Services Manager, for serving as a Chugach liaison. Thank you. Here are the election results. Out of 89,473 eligible members, 10,715 ballots were cast in the 2025 election. Of that, 10,625 were cast before today's meeting, and 90 in-person ballots cast at today's meeting. Again, a total of 10,715 ballots were cast in this year's election, representing 11.98% of the members of record. I'll first announce results of voting on the bylaw changes, then follow the results of the director's election. Here are the results of the proposed bylaw amendments. The proposed bylaw amendment adding a month to the timeline in which the annual meeting can be held. 8,561 yes votes and 1,873 no votes. Again, that was 8,561 yes votes and 1,873 no votes. Therefore, the bylaw amendment passed. Now, I will announce the results for the election of directors. The one candidate who receives the most votes will be elected to a 4-year term. I will give the results of each candidate and read their vote totals twice. Catherine Jernstrom received 6,548 votes. Again, 6,548 votes. Bernie Smith received 2,788 votes. Again, 2,788 votes. Eric St. Michael received 1,343 votes, again, 1,343 votes. Therefore, Catherine Jernstrom is elected to a 4-year term on the Chugach Board of Directors. That concludes my election report. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Thank you to everybody who voted, and congratulations to Catherine for the election to the board. And Bernie's here, so I want to thank you for a good campaign, Bernie. Now we're going to draw for the surplus vehicle, but I wanted to tell you the reason we asked for the bylaw change was right now we could only have the meeting between May 15th and June 15th, and that's a very narrow window with high school graduations, Memorial Day. So thank you for allowing us to expand it from April, I think, 15th through June 15th. That gives us a little bigger window if we decide to have the meeting earlier. So that was why we asked for that bylaw change. So now, do you have your blue tickets? Okay. The winner of the 2007 Chevy Silverado, sitting right outside with just over 42,000 miles, 583089. 583089. I'm so nervous. Are you here? 583089. Is that you? Woo! All right. Excellent. And now Director Wiggin is going to gavel us out. Don't go away. We need to give you the title and the keys. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Don't go away. We got to gavel out.
Thank you all for coming. We all appreciate your interest in your cooperative utility. I need a motion to adjourn. Do I have one? I do have a motion. Any in opposition? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Congratulations and thanks for your participation.